prova il microfono. Hi everyone, I'm Albert. Today we'll focus on offset function. This is the last function from this group, index window. As we have seen in case of index and window, offset function is also a function that will manipulate data from a table. So let's see what we can do with offset function. We have same table as in the last two previous sessions. We have two scenarios, one-to-many and many-to-many. In one-to-many, we same situation. On column states, we have only unique states. So this is the first column. Then we have another information like services, actual revenue, where we will focus on. And in many-to-many, same table, but on the first column states, we have duplicated states names. You see Australia, Canada a lot, so let's just start. So what is actually doing offset function? For example, if we say we don't want to see the first 10 rows, we just need to write the number of the row that we want to, until where we want to exclude the data to rule it out. So if I say, for example, row 10, then offset function will take the rest of the table until the end, and it will provide us this information. This is the very simple variant, so let's just do it. First of all, we go in modeling, we build a new table, we'll call it offset. So we say the name of the table offset table, and then we just use the function offset. In delta, we indicate the position of the line that until where we want to exclude our data. So we will say, let's start with 0 first to see that we can take the whole table anyway. And then in relation side, we need to just mention the name of the table. In our case is one-to-many, close parentheses, and we go and check in table view. So actually we have everything. We started with Armenia, 1.3 millions, then Australia, 500K. So as you can see, start from the beginning. If I add now position number 1, the first line will be deleted, so we can do that. So instead of 0, I'll write 1. And first row disappeared, and we have Australia at 500K. Australia at 500K, it actually even becomes the first line out table. If we say we don't want to see the first 10 rows, then we need to indicate 10 position, and then we will have it. We'll get a table starting from 11 position until the end, meaning that we will start with Iran. So going back in our report, instead of 1, we say 10. And we've started with Iran, as we can see. Okay, great. Let's just go back to position 1. And now what we want to do, we want to analyze every service cluster, like medical, safety, everything we have. And we want, what we can do with offset function, we can just rule out even the highest or the lowest values from each category. When I say it can be unique value, or it can be top 3 highest or lowest values. So for example, if we want to take out top 1, let's say, highest revenue from each. We want to take it out from our data, just to exclude it somehow, to rule it out or delete it, just to not have it in our data set. Then we can do that very easily, and I'll make it with green what we can do. So if we say position 1 in descending order for the category of services, it means that everything with the highest value from each category will be just deleted out of our data set. And in case for of IE, we will have also excluded this highest value 1.2 millions. But in case of services where we have only one value, this basically will be also taken out, so we'll not see it because it is only one value. And the app is taking out that value anyway. And in web design, the highest value will be this one, will be taken out. And for example, if we say I want the first three, instead of one, I want the first three values to be taken out, like highest or lowest. In case of highest, of course, in web design, we'll not see the highest values, the first three highest values. This will just disappear, and we will have only these two values, right? So if we would use also three values, that will mean that all the categories with two values or one value will just disappear, right? In the sense that we will not have it in our table. It will not be deleted from the data source, but in our table will not appear will not pop out these values because they are under free values as we request in our condition. And of course, then in operations, same. The first top values will be out, and those will be like these ones, maybe this, and this, right? And this is what we can do with offset function. We can just take out some information that we don't need from our table. And let's just do this on a practical way. So we said that we want first to take out the first value, and then we have specified our table name, and we need to apply now the order by. Order by, we need to specify, okay, we want the first position, but how, descending or ascending, and based on what? And in our case, we have one-to-many table, and we have actual revenue, which is integer, as you can see here, as you can see. And in this case, just a moment, we need to also to apply the function order by. We open parentheses, and now we can say one-to-many actual revenue, and we need to specify how we want the actual revenue to be ordered based on the first position, ascending or descending. And for example, now we start with descending because we want to take out the first highest value from each category on services column. And we close parentheses, blanks we don't have. And what is now very important is the partition by. We need to specify, okay, where we have our data structured, and from where we want to take each value from which cluster column. So we will say from services, and like we did before, we need to specify partition by here, partition by. And we need to indicate our table name, one-to-many, and of course the column name services. And we just close parentheses. And now from each category, like medical, safety, IE, the highest value was taken out, and also from web design, operations, and training. We can just check that. So we go back in our Excel file. So we check medical, we have 500K. So in medical, we had two values. The highest one is out. So we say out. Then this is in our table. Okay. Then we have safety. The highest should be out. And then we just remain the lowest one. So let's check safety with 266K. Safety 266K. Bhutan. IE, let's check IE. As you can see, the next one is electronics, but because it is only one value and our condition is to skip the first value, then this will also be out. And in case of IE, we will take the lowest, which will be okay, and the highest value will be out. And so on. For aerospace, it's clear, it's out. And for web design, the first value, the highest value should be 2.9 million. This should be out, and the rest one should be in our table view, like this. So let's check web design, 2.9 millions. It shouldn't be here, 2.9 millions. It is not. We have 4 values instead of 5 because the 5th position was just taken out. Good. And this will apply to all the rest of our services categories. And of course, if we want let's say the lowest value, not the highest value, we can say -1. And that means that the lowest value will be taken out. If I hit enter, you will see that here in the medical side and safety, the lowest values will switch it to the highest values from the table. So instead of 500K, we have 1.3 millions, and on safety 2.2 millions, which is right here. If we say I want to take out the last 3 lowest values from each category, so we just hit enter. And as you can see, in case of web design, the rest of the services have disappeared because they don't have free values, so they were excluded. But web design had 5, so the last 3 lowest values have been just taken out, and we still have 2.9 and 2.2. So if we look here, we have 2.9 and 2.2, and the other values have been just taken out, the last 3 lowest values from this category, and also from operations is the same approach. Also, if we want the highest values, we just let free, and the highest free values from each category will just be taken out, and we will have only the rest of the information. And now it's the other way around. We can see the last 2 lowest values in web design and also in operations and training. First 3 highest values were taken out. So this is the way we can play with offset function. Of course, in case of second scenario, to many, it will be exactly the same. But as you remember in the last 2 previous sessions, we have said whenever we have in the first column duplicated names, there will be a problem. We need to add a new column in our data set, like index, like 1, 2, 3, 4, counting every row. And once we have that first column before states, it will work. So let's just make the simple example. We'll not go so much in details as we went with the first scenario, but let's just go and transform data. We go in many to many, and we go in add column, index column, custom. So we start from position 1, and then we say increment 1. We have the new column here. We'll just put it in the before states. We need, of course, to check the format. We'll choose whole number. Now, as you can see, every row is counted. So if we close the transformation view, data will be loaded, and we need just to change again to move to many table, because in this formula we have only the first scenario. So if we say, let's say 0, just we want to just visualize the whole table now, and we say many to many as a relation, and we close parentheses, we'll get an error. Offset relation parameter may have duplicate rows. So even if we switch it back, we switch it forward, the first column index with unique values, we still get that this error. But there is a trick. We can use all function just like that, and now we can just pick up from many to many table all our columns that we want to have it in our table, and it will work. So we choose many to many index, first column, comma, then we say we want states, and then region, locations, employees, and what else? Services, and eventually actual revenue, right? And now if we close parentheses, we will just get the whole table yeah, with the columns ordered as we have chosen here. And let's press enter. And we have everything. And now if we say we don't want to see the first 3 rows, we can just write here 3 and hit enter, and the first 3 rows will disappear. We will see more easily because now we have also the index column, and each row is counted by default. And yeah, if we switch back to one position and we say, okay, we want to go forward with our formula, we need to order by revenue, and also in descending order. We want to take out the first highest value from each category, as we did in the last scenario, in the first scenario. One to many, we just need to mention here order by, and then we say many to many, the name of the table, and we look for actual revenue. We want to order, and also by descending, so we want the highest value. So basically what will happen, it will not order the column in a descending order, the column with actual revenue. It will just take the highest first value. If I will say here number 2, it will take the first 2 highest values out from our table from each category. Of course, if only we add also we skip blanks, the partition by, because he needs to know where to check all this data. So we need to give column with some clustered information like we have in services. So we say many-to-many, the name of the table, and we look for the services, which is here, and we just need to close parentheses. And now if we hit enter, it will work. So for example, in medical, we have also here medical. The highest value, if we look in the table, should be, let's check, medical. If we just filter this, the highest value should be which one? This one, 2.2 million. This should not be in our table report. 2.2 million for medical. It's only 2 millions and not 2.2 millions. For HR, let's look in the Excel file. HR, also the highest value should not be here, and the highest value in this case is 2.39 millions, and the second one is 2.3. So 2.39 should not be in our table in case of HR, so it is not. You can see the next one is 2.3, it is actually here. And if we say, okay, we want the first three highest value to disappear, and we want to look only on the rest, we can say, we can mention 3, and this should be the highest value in our table in case of HR services. So let's just modify this parameter, 3. I will say 3. So take out the first 3 highest values from each category services, hit enter. And now if we look at HR, we have 1.5 millions, which should be also this one, correct. So this is all with offset function. So maybe it will help us in the future when we'll have some special requests to manipulate data from our tables. We can use index function, window function, and offset function. They are pretty cool, and I think for today this is all. We will see us in the next sessions. Until then, take care of you. Goodbye, and thank you for watching this video.